Hi everyone, this is Cody here at Kidder Music Service. Today I just wanted to go over you real quick about equipment choices, equipment upgrading when it comes to playing the trumpet. You get your first student trumpet. It typically comes with a 7C mouthpiece. It's generally the beginner's choice. It's what everyone starts on. After some time playing on it, they're used to it, but they start to think to themselves, is there something better that I might be ready to step up to or a better fit for me? That's when we get into either upgrading your mouthpiece or choosing one that fits your preferences and playing styles, sound tone, all of that good stuff. Here at Kidder, we offer Bach mouthpieces. Bach is usually the chosen sound choice of professionals, so you really can't go wrong with Bach. We have several different sizes, that being the 7C, which is what most horns come with to begin with, 5C, there's a 3C, a 1.5C, and a 10.5C. Similar in size, but there is some different specs. They all have the standard Bach back bore, what the air moves through, so that's going to determine the feel of the horn. The cup sizes are different. And the rim. First glance, you might think, man, that's a couple different options there to choose from. My recommendation is to simply come in and try the mouthpiece. Most people move on to the 5C next. That's a little bit bigger in cup volume from the 7C. So when the cup volume starts to get bigger, there's more room for the lip to vibrate. You can put more air into it. People find they generally get a bigger, improved sound. What happens is they'll either try a 5C mouthpiece and they stick with that. Next size up from that is a Bach 3C. The 3C has a little bit more cup volume than a 5C. And the 1.5C has even more cup volume. So the bigger the mouthpiece, you're getting a nice, broad, compact, and even darker sound at times. If you go in the direction of the 10.5C, the volume starts to get a little bit smaller. Some people might find with a smaller cup that they have to work less. They're getting out more. It boils down to preference. Have someone listen to you. Stand on the other side of the bell and get feedback from them. They might tell you, hey, you sound more full on this mouthpiece versus that one. So after you've been playing on a new mouthpiece for a while and you really like it, you might decide it's time to step up your instrument. So now you're starting to look at what options are available for step-up instruments. These step-up trumpets are generally silver-plated versus the student line trumpets, which are lacquered. People find that they get a better and even brighter sound on silver plating. Some people just like the mere appearance of it, and it's cosmetically pleasing to them. We'll talk about the Bach trumpets in particular. Different specs to them, but are worth noting. The Bach, the 180S37 model, that's the standard Bach, the standard bell. It's generally the #1 choice of sound professionals. Generally, when people come in, a lot looks the same, and there's some things that are not the same. One of the most common differences, the lead pipe setup. There's the standard Bach lead pipe, and there's also the reversed construction lead pipe. So what is that exactly? Well, simply put, one is meant to feel more open than the other when it comes to airflow. In the reverse lead pipe, there is a step on the inside of the tubing which is eliminated. The main tuning slide wraps around the lead pipe, eliminates an inside step or bump of the inner tube of the main tuning slide. A minor spec difference, but it can be a subtle change in feel to the player, and it's something to worth consider choosing or not. Try the instrument, see how it feels to you, and see how it sounds to somebody else. You might find that you like the reverse construction lead pipe over the standard construction.
Do you play on a reverse lead pipe or no?
I do not.
Okay. Why do you prefer the feel with more tension then?
Yeah, I do prefer the standard construction. I just like the feel of it. I find that notes slot for me pretty well, and the intonation is pretty good. So I'm happy with the results I've gotten with my choice of equipment.
When you play a reverse lead pipe, does it feel like you're losing a lot of air for you personally, since you don't play on one?
Yeah, I would say it's just more subtle. There might be a little bit more openness to it, so I feel like I can put more in it, and it's not given as much back, but it's not vastly different. But I could understand why it is a preference for some people. And that actually might help them get more notes in better tune than with the standard lead pipe.
When you play a student model, which I know you play a lot of because you're a repair tech, but what's the difference between that and like what you play normally for a gig? Like how does it feel different for you?
The student model versus my professional model. I would actually say sometimes the student models have a little bit more resistance just because of they tend to have a medium large bore, and the way they're made, I think they're made to help support the developing student so that they have more resistance to help them support notes and helps their growing diaphragm, so to speak, learn to support better. So then what happens is several years go by and then they're ready to step up. So then they can keep progressing that way and learn to use the air and develop, good support for their sound.
And as far as a student model versus a professional model, what's the difference in durability? Is there?
I would say the construction is overall more solid on a professional model. There is no question about it. Just sometimes the bracing is more solid. The metal is a little bit thicker. It's not as soft. They're just overall construction is more solid